I'm Darlene and welcome to Super at 60. Welcome to my home and welcome to my kitchen. Today is a collaboration. You all know I love collaborations. Today's collaboration is with Karen at the Mainer Mom. I'll plug that information somewhere around here on the screen for you. But always, as always, the link to today's video for Karen's channel will be below. And I want you to make sure that all my subscribers go down there and click on that video and go check out Karen's channel, The Mainer Mom. Now, Karen does all kinds of things over there. She does some cleaning. She does some organization. Oh boy, does she. She does some cooking, all kinds of things. You'll really like her very, very much. I know I do. I love watching her channel. So go on over there and see what she's got happening. I know what she's working on today, however, and that is, it smells like a church supper in here. Remember? Yep, we like to do those collaborations. If you have never been to a church supper, you don't know what you're missing out on. You really don't. When you walk into that church and you smell all those wonderful fancy dishes that have come into that church, made by the most precious hands in the most wonderful little kitchens, the smell is intoxicating. Honestly, it should be bottled and it should be a potpourri throughout the house. I should do that. Yeah, I'd probably make millions. Anyway, we both decided today that we are gonna make both the main dish and the dessert. Usually one of us does the main dish and the other does the dessert. But today we figured, Karen and I, hey, we can handle both. So that's what we're doing. So let's go into the kitchen right now and we're gonna start out with my dessert. All right, my dessert today is a Dutch apple crumb pie. From the bottom up, all homemade, crust and all. I'm gonna finally show you how I make my award-winning butter crust. And this particular apple pie is indeed a Blue Ribbon First Place award-winning pie. I went to a competition and all it was apple pies. And sure enough, I won first place with this recipe. So I am graciously passing it on to you guys today. Yes, indeed. So follow along and I will show you step by step exactly how to make this pie, and you can make a lot of people in your family very, very happy. We need 1 1/4 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose flour, or you can use what I'm going to use today is just pastry flour. A quarter teaspoon of salt, any kind of salt you want. I prefer the pink Himalayan salt. Got to have a little salt in there. All right. And we need a 1/2 cup or 1 stick of chilled butter, and we want it to be all, excuse me, I hate to walk out of the camera on you. It needs to be all chopped up. And then the only other thing you need is a 1/4 cup of ice water. I just fill my 1/4 cup with water, and then I put an ice cube in it. Yeah. It just stays nice and cold here until I'm ready for it. You're not going to dump the whole thing in at one time. Just watch, you'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and put the top on. This Ninja of mine is ancient, I'm telling you. But the thing about it is, it still works. It just still works. So here we go. Let's see what it does. Just pulse it. Okay, I'll give it a check. Oh, it's looking fantastic. So much easier than those pastry cutters or using your fingers. Now, you don't want to do mush. And we may be there already. Boy, that's that fast. My good. Let me just take a nice look here. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Look at that. It's perfect. Oh. Now let's take our water, and I'm just going to put little bits in at a time. Just a little bit, okay? We're forming a ball right now, just a little ball, but not soaking wet. Gotta keep an eye on it. Okay, a little bit more. course, you can do this all by hand. Now I'm going to just pulse it until it starts to come together. See? Can y'all see that? Starting to come together. I think it's time to stop. Yeah. All right. Now, when you're not on camera in your kitchen, you've got the afternoon to work with. First of all, be very careful with these blades. This will come together so fast and you'll be so, so excited. All right. It's beautiful. Look at this crust. Look how beautiful this pie crust has come together. I'm thrilled. As a matter of fact, I think this might be the nicest it's ever come and the quickest it's ever come together for me. So yeah, if you have an old Ninja or a new Ninja or any kind of a chopper like that with a blade in it, food processor, that's what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to just roll it into a disc right here. All right, I'm gonna wrap it in plastic wrap and stick it in my refrigerator. And I'm gonna get on with the apple portion of my pie. Look at these beauties. Today I am using these gorgeous, gorgeous, shiny Gala red apples. You can use Granny Smith. That's my other apple of choice. And sometimes I even mix the two. So right now I'm gonna get to peeling and chopping and slicing up all these apples, and we'll take it from there. Sliced up about, I peeled up about, eight to nine small, medium-sized apples over here. And that should be just about right. So now I'm just gonna slice them up and get them all ready. Just take out that middle core, just like that. I save all my cores, all my peels. There you go. I'll show you what I do with those later. But every bit of the apple that you're not using in an apple pie or for anything else, throw it into your scrap bucket over here. And no, brownie is not for you. She's getting all excited. Is that for me? All right, let me go ahead and do this and I'll be right back. Okay, all the apples are sliced nice and as thinly as I could get them. You know, can you see that? You don't want them too thick, and if you see any that might be too thick, go ahead and chop them in half or something, because if they're too thick, they'll take forever in there to soften up, and you don't want your crust done and your topping done before your apples are nicely done. So I'm going to take a little bit of lemon juice and just squirt it right over the top of the apples. All right, that just keeps them nice and bright. And it gives a beautiful bright freshness to the apples as they cook in that oven. Save those lemon rinds too. Just throw them right in that little pot over there. Now, a half a cup of sugar. Just sprinkle it all over. All right, I like to do this as I'm sprinkling my sugar in. I just want to make sure that each and every piece of apple is coated with the sugar, just like that. All right, and a half teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, and that's all you need for the filling, okay? And give that a good stir. All right, next we're gonna set this aside for just a minute and just let it kind of marinate in all the cinnamon and the lemon juice and the apple juices, and just long enough for us to put together our crumb topping. The best part. All right, now we're on to the crumble topping. I went ahead and gave, I did the same thing, started the same way here that I did with the crust. It's 1/3 cup of cold butter that I cut up into nice little tiny cubes, just as small as I could get them, something like that. I'm gonna put in over that 3/4 cup of flour. This can be all-purpose flour now. A 1/2 cup of white sugar, and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, now I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm just gonna go in there and take all your jewelry off, you know, so nothing gets clogged up in there. Just make sure that the butter gets fully coated first. It makes it so much easier. We're gonna hop right along now into our main dish. Our main dish is oven baked chicken. Yes, oven baked chicken. This is so delicious. I never come home with a dish with a piece of chicken left on it. So what I have in front of me here are 8 beautiful bone-in, skin-on thighs. It's my favorite type of meat. If you want to use chicken legs and fill up a big old pan of chicken legs, that's fine too. You can use skin on, bone on breasts if you would rather do that as well. You can absolutely do that, but I do not recommend boneless, skinless chicken breasts. They'll just dry out and you won't be happy. So let's go ahead and start with our thighs for right now. There's 8 thighs in here, and yeah, you'll be most happy with that. Oh, they're so good. I can't wait. All right, I am going to start things off here by putting this nice big, I forget what the size of this is. It's a little bit bigger than an 9 by 13. But it works out perfect for a great big old chicken dish or a great big old casserole to take somewhere like a church supper. And boys, it's smelling like a church supper in here. I'm gonna take this pan and I'm gonna stick it into my oven and I'm gonna just let this butter melt right in the bottom of this pan. All right, I'm just gonna take a nice old Ziploc bag and I'm gonna fill it with about 2 cups of flour. All right, and then all kinds of wonderful seasonings over here, and you add what seasonings that you like. Let me put this down like this so y'all can see it. All right, and of course, I love some sage, and what's better with poultry than some sage? And I would say that's about a half a teaspoon of sage. Don't go crazy with sage. This little thing right here is 1 teaspoon, and I'm gonna put a teaspoon of onion powder in. And I'm gonna put a teaspoon of garlic powder in. Yep. And I'm gonna put a teaspoon of Italian seasonings in because that's just got all kinds of goodness in there. And this is paprika, and I don't wanna put too much paprika in there, but I do love that pink, beautiful glow that paprika gives, and it just looks beautiful. I just love it. And I love just a little bit of the flavor of paprika, but not too much. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of salt. There, that's about a teaspoon now. And about a half to 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. If you like more pepper, go ahead. Now you can change this up, as you can see how easy that is. You can change it up to however you like it. I'm just gonna give it a quick stir right in the bag here. I'm just gonna mix this up nice, just like that. All right, and as soon as that butter is all melted on the bottom of that pan, I'm gonna clean up a little bit of my chicken there. You don't have to have all the fat that's on there, and I'll show you how to do that in 1 second. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this chicken, and I'll show you what I mean by that. If you look here, and yeah, I do have to use my hands again. I guess you could put on a pair of plastic gloves if you wanted to. You see all that excessive skin on there? You just don't need that. Now you want a little bit of skin, you just will, just for flavor. And sometimes when it roasts up, it does taste pretty good. So just go ahead and cut that off. And I just keep a little plastic bag over here on the side and take off that extra stuff here, just like I'm doing. And I'm gonna do this to every single one of these chicken breasts and line them up right here, and they will be ready to go. Okay, I just took my big old pan out of the oven. You can see how the butter got a little bit browned on the side. I love that. You know, I forgot to tell you, right before I placed it in the oven with that 1 stick of butter, I also put in about a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. The flavor of the coconut oil and that nutty brown butter, when it melts down, just let it get a little bit brown, just a tiny bit brown, and oh, the flavor, it will be just great. All right, my chicken is all cleaned up. My flour is all seasoned. I have a little station here that we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Take your chicken, dip it right in, just get it full of that flour. It's like good old-fashioned shake and bake, except you are making your own. Okay, don't shake off too much though. Skin side down into the butter. Skin side down, that is very important because that has to crisp up. Got to absorb all that wonderful butter and coconut flavoring. Down, ow, whew, down it goes. Yeah, be careful. Wake up. All right, let's go ahead and dip all the rest of this in there. Woo. Beautiful. All right, let it go away from you. I'm gonna put the camera over here so that you can see me burn myself again. You don't wanna miss that, right? All right, dip, dip, dip. All right, let me go ahead and finish doing this, and I will be right back right before I put it into the oven. What I like to do at the end is take a little bit of that extra flour over each piece, just press it down, because I don't really want to see any chicken, you know, any pink chicken coming through. So just go ahead and press it in there. Beautiful, just like that. Boy, I sure make a mess, don't I? All right, and then the very last thing I'm gonna do before I'm gonna pop it back into that nice hot 400-degree oven. Yeah, and I wouldn't use convection either if you have a choice. Some of us have a choice and some of us don't. You know, for the longest time, I didn't have a choice. What's convection? I don't know. But I usually save my convection for baking. But anyway, so take a little bit of olive oil and just a tiny little squirt over the tops of each of these chicken breasts. It's just going to help crisp up that chicken. Yum. All right, here I go, back into a 400-degree oven, and I'll put it in here for about 25 to 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna take it out, I'm gonna turn these pieces of chicken over, and we're gonna put it back in for another, oh, I don't know, I'd say another 25 minutes, but I'll let you know for sure. Now, I did tell you to save all those scraps, all those apple cores and your lemons and your peels. Just save them all, because on the back of my stove, I have a warmer burner. Just kind of keeps things warm. And it's just the right temperature to keep warm water just kind of just before the simmer, where you can see the steam coming up. And that's when I pour in my scraps, or I'll use about half of this and dump in a whole bunch of cinnamon and cloves, whatever I find that I want to put in there, a cinnamon stick, some pumpkin pie spice, whatever. And that just sits on the back of my stove with a big old splash of water over it and simmers all day long. And when people come in and out of my house, they go, "Oh, what are you baking? Why does your house always smell so good?" And that's my secret right there. Well, it certainly does smell like a church supper in my whole house. I was going to say my kitchen, but the entire home smells like a church supper. That chicken, it is absolutely like a perfume. It just permeates every inch of my home, and it will yours as well. And the taste, that chicken is so good. It is so moist and so tender and so perfectly done and so perfectly seasoned. Remember, you season according to your taste. If you don't care for the garlic, or you want more onion or a little less salt or more pepper, it's all totally up to you. But either way, it's going to come out perfect just for you and just for your church family, or for any function. When there's a gathering and you want to take some food, this chicken dish is just delightful. And that apple pie, well, a picture says it all. It is delicious. Please try that apple pie, crust and all. Resist going to the grocery store and picking up one of those frozen pie crusts or the refrigerated pie crust. You can do this. You can do this all by yourself. You don't need any electrical appliances. You can use your whole hand, both hands, and nothing else. That's what I generally do, like today. It was the first time I tried the Ninja. It happened to be a fantastic success, and I will use it from now on. So I just want to thank you again for being here. This was a great day in my kitchen, and it was a joy having every single one of you here, sitting right here in my kitchen with me, watching and oohing and awing, hopefully. Please leave your comments down below for me. I just so enjoy reading your lovely comments. Those of you who have come over from Karen's channel, This Mainer Mom, I am so happy to have you here. If you enjoyed today's content, just go ahead and press that like button for me if you would, and please press the subscribe button. We would love to have you here to join our incredible loving community right here at Super at 60. There are so many beautiful people here that will just engage in the comments below with you, and you will really enjoy yourself here. And just go ahead and press that little bell so you know when all my notifications come out, and they do come out all the time. And to my subscribers, please go and check out This Mainer Mom with Karen and see what she's got cooking today for her church supper. Thank you again. Bye now, and Lord bless.